Is this your first time with us, Sam? Oh, I am live. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Um, I hope uh, I hope people are connected. We are actually streaming on Facebook and our YouTube page. If you don't know yet, we do have a YouTube page, so you might want to check it out and subscribe. The more people we get, uh, the more we can use YouTube and its features. And it's also the place where we would archive all our video Q&As and discussions and the like, and trailers and all that stuff. That's where we'll archive, and you can go back to them and rewatch the different things that we'll be broadcasting during the festival. Also, we are live on our Eventive page, which is our virtual platform. So, hi everyone. I'm just glad that we could have ImageOut this year. As you know, because of this pandemic, everyone has to make changes, including film festivals. But we're fortunate that ImageOut did not have to cancel, and we did not downsize or anything. So what we're bringing you this year is the same amount. Well, we actually have more films this year, more programs, if you could believe that. So you still get the same experience minus some of the social aspects of it. But hopefully, with some of our special events, we could replace the interaction that we usually have in the theater. So what's new with Image Out? We have gone virtual, and we have a virtual festival page, and we're hosted by Eventive. You can access our virtual festival if you go to our website, imageout.org, and click on a couple of links that are provided. But you can also click on any of the banner pictures, and it will take you to the Eventive site where we are being hosted. So when you get to the virtual festival page of Image Out, you have choices of looking at our film guide, which will list all the films that we are showing at the festival, including the short films. And there are different tags that we provided for the different films. So whatever you're looking for, it might be easier to use the tags to navigate the film guide. This also includes the tag that says available beyond New York, which will tell you some of the films that we are offering beyond New York State. Because with this new virtual setup, we have the concept of geo-blocking, which means we are limiting the area that we can show films. So for this year, all our films can actually seen in the entire New York State. So if you have friends from other cities in the New York State area, definitely introduce them to Image Out and see what they've been missing. And so you can also access the virtual theater in the virtual festival page, and that would take you to the different schedules of the films that we're showing every day during the festival. So how this works is every day we will be dropping, is the term I'm calling, but we're debuting different films, and they will be available starting 6 o'clock that morning, and it would be available to view and to buy for 4 days. Once you unlock a film, or if you buy a ticket for a film, when you start watching, you will have 2 days to complete watching the movie. So this is really tailored to anyone who has ever complained that they don't have the time to go to Image Out because of their schedule. So now all the films will be available, and you have 4 days to watch, and hopefully that would work with your job schedule or your school schedule or what have you. So even with all the challenges of putting together a virtual festival, it's really great to have the opportunity to reach out to more people than we've ever had. Like I said, we're available within all of New York State, so you can tell your friends about it. And you don't have to be a theater. So if you never felt comfortable coming to the theater to attend the festival, you can watch things in your own house, and make your own popcorn, or go to the Little and pick up a popcorn during our pickup time, and so you can enjoy the festival in your own time, in your own pace. And so also in the virtual festival, there is on the side an option for uh, frequently asked questions. So I know this is all new to everyone, and we're here to help. And we try to make it easy by providing all these guidelines that are available on that page. And if you still have questions, you can contact anyone at ImageOut, email us, and send us message on social media, call us, or if you are having technical issues, you can even call Eventive. They have a great help support. So anyway, I just want to talk about that. There's a lot of new things at ImageOut, and it took a lot of effort to put this together and to make sure that we have something for you this year. And because of social distancing and the pandemic, we couldn't we couldn't work with everyone, with all our volunteers. So a lot of the hard work depended on a few people. So I would be remiss not to thank the ImageOut Board of Directors for working so hard to put together the festival and the different events that we're going to offer for you from October 8th to the 18th. So on Thursday, we're doing a toast, and on Friday, we're going to start with all the films. And another thing that we're offering is during the festival, you can watch things anytime you want. But what we're going to do is we're going to host live Q&As and live discussions in the evenings. So in the evening, we can all come together again and maybe chat about the things that you've seen, or I'm going to be talking to some guests at the festival, and you can join in if you have any questions, just to provide a little structure for the festival. And we have a couple of two great events, and that is first a cruise on the Erie Canal, and we're showing our image out of the archives there, and also our drive-out screening, where we'll be showing the film Ammonite at the drive-in pop-up location. And we have one of our board of directors, Jenny Werner, talking about that. So can we look at that, Paul?
Hey everybody, I'm Jenny Werner, and I am honored to be on the board of ImageOut. And tonight I want to share with you a few of the things that are going to be going on, special events that will be happening during the festival, in addition to some of the online Q&As that will happen with filmmakers and other kinds of conversations that we'll host. But let me share my screen with you, and I'll tell you a little bit about some of the events. So we actually are going to begin with our events the day before the festival kicks off with our fourth Image Outright readout, which is a showcase of authors from volumes 6, 7, and 8 of the Image Outright journal. It is an incredible celebration of the power of personal perspectives. We hope you'll join us on Facebook for that event. The next day, on October 8th, join us for a virtual toast to kick off our 28th annual festival, also on Facebook. Now, what's Image Out without popcorn, right? So on October 9th, between 5 and 7, please stop by the Little to pick up some of that popcorn that we know and love. Take it home with you while you watch the films that night. And now this next one, we're still confirming the dates for. We'll have them soon. And as soon as we let you know, you are going to want to clear your schedule, because this is a special screening from the ImageOut archives of the Broken Hearts Club, which you can watch while cruising down the Erie Canal on the Colonial Belle. It sounds really fun. And this is, of course, going to be a socially distanced event. On October 11th, our members can pick up a box lunch at the Little between noon and 1 and bring it home to eat with while you watch a members-only virtual talkback with one of our festival directors. And now this one is one of my favorites. On October 16th, stop by the Spirit Room for a curbside pickup of cocktails and delicious eats, again, which you can bring home with you and enjoy with your Friday night film viewing. And now finally, some people go to drive-ins, but at ImageOut, we go to drive-outs. We're going to close the festival on October 18th with a drive-out screening of the closing night film in one of the parking lots at Village Gate. Again, we'll have more information about that for you soon. And all of the information will be available on Facebook, on the Eventive site, and also we'll be in touch by email. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you online at some of these events, and I hope you enjoy the festival. Thanks.
Oh, hold on. I apologize. So thanks, Jenny, for all the information. So I don't know if you've tried going to our Eventive site. It's really easy to use. All you really need to do is register, and that only requires your email address and put in your name and, of course, your password. And that's your access to ImageOut. All the films that you'll be watching will be listed. Anything you've bought will be listed, and it will remind you on when they're going to be available. And to make it easy for you, we are also offering a free movie, the documentary, the wonderful documentary, Welcome to Chechnya, and it is available for free for you on Eventive. Hopefully, this would give you an opportunity to set up your profile on Eventive and also get comfortable with how to unlock a film and buy a film and watch a film on Eventive. So if you have any questions about Eventive and our virtual festival, feel free to reach out to us. And I guess it's time to bring in a few of my friends who really came through for ImageOut this year. They're part of ImageOut programming, and they're also people who wrote a lot of the program descriptions. So when I'm going crazy, I just email one of these people and tell them I need something, and they'll deliver. So they're great. So I'd like to bring them to this discussion to talk about some of the films that we're going to have at the festival. So first, I'd like to introduce Georgia Beers, who is an award-winning romance novelist, Lambda Award winner. Hi, Georgia.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm good. It's
I
great
miss
to
your
see
face.
you.
I know, right? Such a weird year.
And now you have a new background because you moved to a new house.
Yes, I did. Isn't it lovely?
Yes, I'm just in my kitchen.
Yeah.
I'd also like to introduce Adam Lubito, who is our resident critic here in Rochester. He writes for City newspaper, among other things. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Michael. Good to see you. And the rare opportunity to see each other face to face in this weird year. I appreciate this.
Even the programming committee had to pivot, and we had to do some of our meetings, all of our meetings on Zoom, but we couldn't meet as often. So always great to see these guys' faces. We also have Joey Moser, who is one of the people that really helped me out this year. And and wrote a lot of our program descriptions. Joey used to live here in Rochester, and just this summer moved to, where did you move, Joey? Cleveland?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus. So even when he's away, before he left, he told me just to email him or text him if I need anything. And of course, the user that I am, I did. And Joey writes for Awards Daily. Is that an online entertainment portal? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we really cover award season. So like the main part of the website covers Oscar and like Golden Globe stuff, and then I mainly write for the TV side where we cover like the Emmys. So it's settled down quite a bit since the Emmys a couple of weeks ago.
And Joey would also do a lot of interviews with stars. So he's just as much a star fucker as I am. Oh, sorry. Can I use that word? But I do mine in person. Joey does his on Zoom.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're here tonight, guys, to talk a little bit about the lineup, which I think is amazing, given that we have... we're supposed to have difficulty with some of the films because many films don't know what to do with their schedule yet. They don't know when theaters are going to open and they want to wait and all that. But just the same, I think we have a great lineup, and you guys have seen many of them. And I would like to start by asking you guys, what is your favorite in the lineup? What is that hidden gem that everyone should be checking out, or at least consider reading the description? Maybe they'll like it. Maybe Georgia, you can start.
I actually picked two out of our lineup. To the surprise of no one, Ammonite was one of my favorites. You got a little Kate Winslet and a little Saoirse Ronan, and how are you going to go wrong with that, right?
I don't think a little is the right word.
That is very true. There is a lot of these women in this movie.
You see a lot
catch
of
my
them.
drift. But it's just really, it takes a little while to get started. But it's got everything. It's got mood. It's got chemistry. It's a little happy. It's a little heartbreaking. It's everything rolled up into one period piece ball of ImageOut stuff. And I loved it. I loved pretty much everything about it. I highly recommend it. I'm a huge Kate Winslet fan. I have been for a long time, but Saoirse Ronan has been, since Brooklyn, has like really been on my radar. I know she's been around longer than that, but that's the first movie I saw her in that I was like blown away by. So you put those two together, I mean, they can read the phone book and they would be entertaining at it because they're just so good at what they do.
I was just going to say, though, that it took me a while to really like Saoirse Ronan because my first exposure to her was Atonement.
And everybody hates her.
I'm like, I could not forgive her for what she did. So it took me a while to like her, maybe just last year or a couple of years ago when she did Lady Bird, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's a testament to her acting chops that she can come back from that for you.
Yeah. But just for everyone's information, Ammonite had its physical premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, which just happened a couple of weeks ago. It was slated to be at Cannes and a couple of other big film festivals, but they all went virtual, and they did not want to go virtual. So the fact that we are able to host the film and screen it is amazing. Well, that's the reason why we're doing a drive-out event, so we can show the film. That's the only way we can show the film. And I was gonna move heavens and earth to bring that film to Rochester. And we had a very limited time to watch the film, and I had 24 hours to watch the screener. And I shared it right away with Georgia because we can only watch it 3 times. And I told her, do not watch it on your phone. Watch it on your computer with stable connection, because if you get cut off and you use one of my views, I will kill you.
That's very true. That's exactly what he said.
And it's interesting because we did not watch it at the same time, but we were watching it probably minutes apart.
Yeah.
And I was asking her, "Oh my God, are you in it 51 already?"
You were a little bit
God,
ahead of
oh
me.
God.
He was sending me text that just said, "Oh my," and I'm like, "I'm not there yet."
So anyway, yeah. So that's
It's a
something
great
to look.
film.
That's something to look for. And if you're interested, that would be our festival closing event, which will be on October 18th. And like Jenny said earlier, it will be a drive-out event in one of the parking lots at the Village Gate.
Awesome. I can't wait.
And it's such a beautiful movie. I'm so glad that people get to actually see it on the big screen.
Me too. And I know that there's been like a little bit of complaining in the women loving women community lately about, can we get something that's not a period piece? But this is just so beautiful, and it's worth it. I mean, I know that we're getting a little tired of that, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Trust me. I promise.
And
I'm just a little worried though, but because where we're gonna be at Village Gate, there's that hill that go down from Maine to Goodman, and the screen would be right there. And I'm telling the board, if someone is driving down at 8:47 p.m. on that Sunday, they might be surprised with what's gonna be in their horizon.
Let's not cause any car accidents, right?
So did you say you had a couple of things that you thought you liked?
Yeah, the other one I loved was Two of Us, which I think, isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
I loved it so much. And it's a subject matter that we don't often get to touch on in ImageOut because we're so focused on younger folks, which I get, but this is about 2 women of a certain age, I'm going to say that. And it addresses the very real possibility of not being able to get to each other when one is in ill health, be it health problems, be it family members. I don't want to spoil the movie, so I don't want to give too much away, but that subject matter is not something that we see on film a lot. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful movie. It touched my heart. It made me cry, but it made me happy. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Is it French? I can't remember. I believe
it is French.
Yeah.
And I just want to emphasize that it's a happy movie.
It is. I mean, it's heart. There's our heartbreaking parts, but it's not tragic. Let's say that, because I know a lot of people go into these things going, "Oh no." It's not tragic, I promise.
when I was watching that, I kept saying, this other lady looks so familiar. And it wasn't until Joey told me that, oh, it's that lady from 12 Monkeys on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's like, oh, yes, I've been trying to think who it was.
And she's actually German.
Yes. Yeah.
But she's in this French film, and she's just, they're both so wonderful. The actresses are so wonderful, and the storyline is beautiful, and it's really, really touching. It's a very moving story.
So we probably should watch the trailer for Ammonite, and I think we also have the Two of Us trailer, but let's look at Ammonite first.
Okay.
It was a sea lizard. 6 feet long. Days it took to dig it out, clean it. I was only 11 years old. It's in the British Museum. That one was special.
Miss Annie. I've often heard your reputation discussed in the Geographical Society in London.
Is there something you wanted, sir?
My wife, she hasn't been at all well of late. She suffers from melancholia. I want her to walk the shoreline with you, learn from you.
I'm not looking for an apprentice.
I would pay a premium for a private audience.
It's not easy work.
Don't like the water. What is it?
Cheap tourist fodder.
Beautiful.
It pleases me you struck up a friendship together.
What is it? Something? Nothing?
I don't want to go back to the life I had before you. What about my life?
I also want to mention that because it's a drive-out event, it's limited capacity. I think we can accommodate 80 cars maybe, but so if you're interested in that movie, I suggest you buy your tickets right away, and it's one fee for a car, and if you're quarantining with some friends and people, of course you can take them with you in the car and enjoy the film. So we probably should take a look at the other film that Georgia was talking about, which is Two of Us. And this is also a favorite of mine in the lineup. And before I saw Ammonite, this is definitely my favorite. So can we check out the trailer for Two of Us?
Tu vivrai con me in un'isola fantastica e un mondo vedrai di lassù, un mondo...
L'anniversaire.
Ouais. Je voulais vous dire une chose qui est très importante pour moi. Je voulais vous dire que je vous aime.
Santé, maman.
Bonsoir, Madame Dorme.
Bonsoir.
T'as rien dit à tes informants? T'as pas osé? C'est ça?
Madame Girard, votre voisine est venue vous voir.
Madeleine.
C'est drôle quand même d'avoir choisi cet endroit pour prendre sa retraite. Ça, c'est le Colisée.
C'est marrant, on dirait Madame Dorn.
Tu comprends pas, elle peut pas retourner dans cet appartement.
So another thing I wanted to add is I mentioned earlier that most films are available over 4 days. This is one of the films that is only available to us for 2 days and 6 hours. And I have to beg for those 6 hours because it's a film that I think they're looking forward to releasing, so they don't want a lot of exposure to it. And also, so it's only available until Sunday night. So if you want to watch it, definitely buy it ahead of time and don't wait until the last minute. Just because that we're showing everything virtually doesn't mean that we cannot sell out, because we actually had to negotiate the amount of people who can watch the films that we're offering. So some of the films can only have a few views, and some have more than others. So I would recommend that if you're interested in something, pre-order them ahead of time, because you don't want to be you don't want to be missing anything that you want to watch just because you procrastinated. It's me trying to sell tickets. So Joey, let's go to you. What is your favorite?
The movie that I really loved is Minion. Eric Steele's really the word I keep thinking is restrained. Movie about a young man in 1980s Brighton Beach trying to balance like learning who he is and coming to terms with who he is and exploring that side of him with his traditional Jewish life. And the central performance by Samuel H. Levine, he was on Broadway in The Inheritance. It's really beautifully quiet, and if I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I'm still thinking about that movie since I watched it. I've seen it twice now, and I just think that it's really interesting to see how a young man who is going to see this new community that he is going to become a part of in the gay community with what happens in New York City in the early 80s sort of juxtaposed with this traditional Jewish lifestyle that he was brought up with. And I just think it's a beautiful, quiet movie.
Yeah, I know. I saw the film in Berlin at 10 o'clock at night. So it's not easy to watch a film that's quiet at that time. But I was able to survive it. But right before that, I attended a party, and Sam Levine was there, who was the lead star. I didn't know that he was in this film, and the filmmaker was there. And this guy kept looking at me, and I just saw The Inheritance on Broadway in December last year. And this was February in Berlin. And I'm like, oh my God, you look familiar. I don't know where I've been. And he goes, you probably saw me on Broadway. You're from New York, right? Oh my God. So I feel like it's another Starfucker moment, you know.
He's really handsome. He's really like beautifully stoic in a weird way. Like and you know, his character goes through he's confused. He goes through a lot of anger. He's really, really confused, but he keeps it all really inside. So I wish I would have seen him in Berlin because I would have died.
Well, I saw him on stage in New York, which I saw him because there's nudity in that show. So when I was talking to him at the party, he said, "Oh, you know, you're gonna see more in this film." I'm like, "More? What else will I see in this film?" Anyway, that's it's pretty sensual also, and they have so many languages in that film. You know, isn't that the one with the Russian and the Hebrew and the everything else? I think.
Yeah, I think so because like Ron Rifkin plays his grandfather. There's a whole subplot about how his grandfather is trying to find housing in like a Jewish apartment building. And they're
low cost Jewish apartment building.
Yeah, so like he sort of, gets to learn more about other people that could be part of this community that he is, realizing he is a part of in a very unexpected way. But yeah, there are people from many different countries in this.
It's also interesting that because we partner a lot with Jewish organizations in the area, and it's very difficult to find many years for a lot of the years. There's difficult to find more than one or two Jewish films to partner with these different organizations. And this year we have 4 great feature films, and Minyan is one of them. So I'm like, there's a great Jewish film festival in the city, but I feel like with 4, we're almost running a Jewish film festival, a mini Jewish film festival. Is there anything else that you found really intriguing in the lineup? You wrote so many of them. You probably are the one that saw the most film, other than myself.
I know that a couple that we're probably going to talk about a little later. I also really, really, really love. Something else that I can say that I would really encourage people to watch is Gossamer Folds. It's a really sweet, open-hearted look about a 10-year-old boy who befriends an African American trans woman, and I think it's in the early 90s, and it's a really sweet, winning, also sort of a coming of age, but it's a really beautiful, fun movie.
And it stars Alexandra Burke, right? Isn't she in Pose, or?
She is, I think it's Alexandra Gray.
Okay.
On Pose.
They're getting all mixed up in my head.
Yeah, but like the cast, like the young boy is Jackson Robert Scott. He was in like he got his arm torn off in It. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
Not good for some
George, the one in the ring, right?
Yeah, he's the one in the ring. Like he plays
Georgie.
Really, yeah, Georgie. He plays
Georgie.
a really creepy kid in The Prodigy, a really inquisitive kid on a Netflix show, Lock and Key. So if you want to see him not be a really creepy young man, watch it because it's a really sweet movie. Yeah.
And the father is Shane West.
With this lovely mustache. I was just like, oh.
Yeah. But I like him, when he was younger. I mean, I still like him now, but
to remember Shane West, yeah.
So I think we want to play a little clip from Minion just to give people a taste. And we don't have a trailer for it, so we're showing this little clip that the distributor sent us.
She would have made something special for you.
And for you.
No, this is all that I need. Your mother once asked your grandmother why she didn't leave Russia when she was a young woman. Before the war, during the war.
She was waiting for you to come home.
Your mother always thought about this as if there were options. And if you could just run away from yourself.
What'd Bobby say?
Look into my eyes. That's what Bobby said. So your mother looked in Bobby's eyes and she didn't see anything. Exactly, said Bobby. Because I have nothing to hide. Okay. Hello? Yes? Yes? Right. Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. So, Adam, let's go back to you. And what are your favorites?
One of the films that I'm really excited for people to see is Cicada, which is a romantic drama that's a period piece of sorts. It's set in 2013, but 2013 specifically. And it's about kind of a couple dealing with their own issues and issues of them as a couple. And the way the film kind of digs into some serious topics like race and abuse and homophobia, but it does it in a way it gives it a really light touch in a way that feels natural, even as it's kind of digging into those heavy things. And yeah, it's just, I think, a really amazing debut for the writer and co-director and star, Matthew Pfeiffer, I believe his name is. I was just really impressed with it. And I think people are going to enjoy that one.
Yeah, it's selling very well. And I know what you're saying, though, because the opening scene, it makes you think it's a different movie. And then suddenly it's a little more serious than that, because the opening scene is a montage of, different sexual encounters and all that. Like, some of them are jaw-dropping, and it's kind of like took the shock off right in the beginning, and then it goes into deeper subjects, and you thought it would just be this fluffy, sexy movie, and it wasn't.
Yeah,
and
it's got a lot on its mind, which I liked about it.
Yeah, and they're one of the team that we're definitely going to have for a live Q&A during the festival. Awesome. It would be very interesting what they have to say, and as you said, Matt Pfeiffer is so darn cute. So.
And it's got a whole bunch of recognizable faces in cameo appearances. Colby Smulders shows up as his therapist. David Burtka, Bowen Yang. Every scene, there's a new person. They're like, hey, isn't that?
Yeah. It's almost like he's very well connected to get some cameos from all these known people.
Yeah.
And that's screening on our first Saturday, by the way. It drops off on that day, and it will be available for 4 days after that. I think we should probably check out the trailer for that before we go any further.
I hate fireworks.
The sound of freedom?
Who's freedom?
They're not fireworks, they're sparklers.
How do I hold it?
You gotta bend over. Oh, you got a dud.
You're a dud.
You're a dud. Look at this.
You're a dud.
You're a dud.
You're a dud. Ha! You're a dud. You're a sick gay.
The neighbors were watching.
I forgot we don't have a trailer, but a clip for it. Did you say you have another one that you wanted to talk about, Adam?
I mean, I could. Another one I really liked was Shiva Baby.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Which is a comedy, an uncomfortable comedy.
An uncomfortable comedy. That is a good way to put it.
Yeah, it I think captures really well that feeling of being a directionless young adult at a family gathering where everyone is kind of pestering you about what you're doing with your life. Like it nails that feeling so well. Like you immediately go back to, your young adult period when, you were like, I don't know what I'm doing. Please don't ask me about it. But everyone does. It's great.
And then in the midst of all of that, her worlds are about to collide all in this little tiny house that she can't get out of. It's
all,
awesome.
all literally takes place at a Shiva for a family member. And it's
hugely claustrophobic in the best kind of way though.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a horror movie almost.
What a fun one.
Yeah, a fun horror movie.
Yeah.
It's like you've been lying about something and hiding about something, and that something shows up.
Yep.
Yep.
And it's another one with a lot of familiar faces in it as well.
Yeah. And again, it's one of our part of our mini Jewish film festival in the lineup. And it also had because it was supposed to be in South by Southwest. That was the world premiere, but South of Southwest, as we know, didn't happen. I think they did some virtual stuff. So Toronto was its physical premiere. And again, this is a title that came from Toronto and we're showing here at the festival. So hopefully people will check it out. So one of my favorites and one that I want to talk about tonight is also another Jewish film, and it's called Sublet. And it's one of our spotlight film at the festival. I wanted to talk about it because I think there's a lot of fans of Ethan Fox in the community, and this is his latest film. And this is again one of those films that was supposed to premiere at Tribeca, and Tribeca did not happen. They did some virtual stuff. So Tribeca was going to happen in early spring. So now it's starting to do the virtual festivals in the fall. And we're fortunate to be one of the first few festivals that would be screening a sublet. We have a clip of the film before we talk about it. So maybe you can watch that.
You still fuck?
Excuse me?
You and David, you still have sex?
Well,
you don't have to answer this question if you don't want.
No. I'm perfectly okay answering. It's just that, well, yeah, we do occasionally have sex.
Occasionally? What does it mean?
What does that mean? It means occasionally. Obviously, as a relationship evolves, some things happen less frequently than they once did. And I'm not just talking about sex. Lots of things change.
So you have an open relationship?
No. Not as far as I know.
Wow. I can't imagine no sex life. I mean, that would kill me.
Well, I didn't say there was no...
Forget about sex, just kissing. I mean, don't you miss it? Like a really good kiss that makes you forget about everything, you know?
You're a funny one.
Why?
Because for Mr. I don't want a boyfriend, no happy endings, you sound pretty romantic about the power of a kiss.
The power of a kiss. Did you guys see this?
I did not see this one.
I haven't either.
I think the password expired before everyone could get to it.
Yeah. Like you said, I'm a huge fan of Ethan Fox, though, so I'm definitely looking forward to catching this one during the festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a very smart movie. If you recognize John Benjamin Hickey in the film, and the first time I met him is on Love, Valor, and Compassion, and this was before I was taking selfies and pictures with stars. So I had a signature on my playbook to prove it. And 20 years later, he's here, and he's still going on, and is even more popular than ever. And he was also in The Inheritance with Sam Levine on Broadway, at least the version that I saw. Ethan Fox has gone international in a way by casting a Broadway star, and it's a very touching, moving, happy, sexy film, but very moving, really. So it's about relationships and of people that have been together for a while, and of people that are just starting, and so there's a lot intergenerational thing that's going on, and it's set in Israel. We don't have a lot of Jewish films that are actually in Israel, so this one is one of them. So I'm glad that we could bring it to Rochester. And again, it's also selling well. So if you're interested in watching this movie, you have to buy your tickets soon. So another thing that I kept talking about, I don't know if you guys have seen Defiant Souls.
I missed that one. I read all your reviews though, and it looks like it was great.
Yeah, it's one of those epic films in the festival that is like a hidden gem, because it's been out for a year, but there's only a couple of festivals that have screened it. So even though it's been out, I don't know if it's the marketing of the film or what, or people just do not want a lesbian trans film that is set in the early 19th century about probably the first Latin American female doctor that had to hide her sexuality or her gender so she could pursue what she wants to do, which is medicine. And she's Swiss, and she moved to Cuba to practice, and all the while hiding herself. And then she got discovered, and this was actually based on a true story. I had to look it up, and I love those films that, while watching, it's like, oh my God, is that for real? I have to look this up. I have to Wikipedia this thing right after I watch it. It's one of those. So I encourage everyone to to watch it. And are there other things that you guys can think of that are like hidden gems in the festival?
I mean, there's so much, really. There's so many good things.
I was gonna say I feel like I should shout out Tahara.
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Since that was shot locally, almost entirely in Temple Bethel, which is
except the opening scene, which was driving around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's a little gem that I hope people check out.
Yep.
And it's actually our Flower City spotlight because, as you said, it has a local connection. Jess Seidman is the writer of the movie, and that's the reason why they shot here in Rochester last spring. I mean, spring 2019, because who cares about spring 2020? It never happened. They shot here, and I thought I was pretty connected with local Rochester entertainment stuff. I didn't even know that this happened. And, early in January, some friends in the festival industry were asking, oh, do you know that there's like this lesbian film that was filmed in Rochester? Like, what? I did not have a clue. But to be honest, a lot of people did not have a clue about that film either. It just dropped and it was available. And it has played some big LGBTQ film festivals. So I'm happy we could highlight it here in Rochester as a local film. And it's actually being sponsored by the Jewish Federation of Greater Rochester, which I love because I work there. So they made it possible to bring the film by their financial support. And we're partnering with the Jewish Film Festival of Rochester to make sure that that the word gets out and they get to see this wonderful film. And you have to support local stuff and encourage local filmmaking here. There's a lot of different things too that we're doing at the festival because we're virtual. I think for the first time we have a couple of 2 episodic series, and one of them is even almost 3 hours long because you're at home, so you should have all the time to watch, or pause and watch it again. So one of those things is Hello Stranger, which is from the Philippines, and it has 8 episodes, and it was just such a beautiful thing when I saw it. And also it's an opportunity to bring a film here that is of a genre that many people are not familiar with, which is called Boys Love, BL genre, which is popular in Asia. And it's about all these straight boys falling in love or gay boy, straight boy falling in love. But because the fans are mostly high school girls, so like my clique, but they just, I could never understand why they scream for boys falling in love. So it's not about the sex or anything. It's just about the romantic feeling of having these people, having 2 boys or more fall in love. So I'm hoping people will check that out. And it looks like it's selling well too. So I'm excited. And we're going to bring the cast and the team from the Philippines, not here, but online, to talk about how they did the production, because this was done in the Philippines when they had the lockdown, which was far stricter than what we're doing here in the US, because in the US it's a hoax. But anyway, I'm sorry. So they filmed this during the pandemic, and they made use of Zoom and cell phones and all that. So it's so creative the way they put it together. And I like the people to experience and see how something that was made in during the pandemic when we couldn't go out, but things can still be made, and it could still be as entertaining as others and romantic as others and exciting as others. So I hope people watch it. And Joey watched it. I made him binge on the episode.
I watched it in one day. The boys are dreamy. I was like messaging Michael the whole time. I was like, I'm obsessed with the one boy. He's so freaking cute. And then I was like checking out all the things he was doing, like on his IMDb page. But it's a really sweet, earnest thing, and I think that soon we're going to see a lot of things that are based in the pandemic, like all the movies and TV shows. It's going to happen really soon, and I think this one does it very, very well. It's very sweet.
And we probably should mention that our narrative centerpiece is an amazing film and very relevant film, especially with what's going on in the world. And here in Rochester, with all the Black Lives Matter movement and protest that's happening, our narrative centerpiece is called The Obituary of Tunde Johnson, about this young gay Black high school student who has to deal with police brutality. And in the film, he gets killed by the police, but the film is in time loop, so just like Groundhog Day. So it keeps repeating, and it seems like no matter what he does or tries to change, he still ends up the same way, a different scenario. So it's a very powerful film. It might be difficult to watch, and it's one of those that is not in the same schedule as the other ones that we're offering, because this one would actually drop at a specific time, which is October 13. I think it's a Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. That's when it starts being available. And then right after that 7:00 screening, if you guys can tune in, we're going to have a live Q&A with the filmmaker and whoever else will be available from the team. So I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully it will be a great discussion. And I think all of you, maybe, did you all see it? I think Adam and Joey saw it.
Yeah.
No, I missed that one.
This was in Toronto also, but last year, not this year. And it took a year to it hasn't really done much since it premiered in Toronto, and then suddenly it's out now. And I have to say that it's not being shown in a lot of the big LGBT. It's only being shown in a couple of big LGBTQ film festivals. But so we're very fortunate that we actually got it. And it's one of those that I had to beg for. I seem to do that a lot. Not on my knees, but I'm still begging.
But yeah, that's one that's worth the begging, I think. Yeah, it's interesting that it uses the almost science fiction genre to explore this real world issue in a really interesting way. And it's not a hopeless movie. I want to I don't want it. It's a heavy movie, but you don't come out feeling just as defeated as I feel like the setup leads you to believe.
Yeah, it's really tough, but I was surprised at where the movie goes by the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still gonna trigger a lot for people when they see it. So that's why I keep telling them, the hard facts. So it's not gonna come as a surprise. But it's like Adam said, it's a hopeful movie. I also want to mention that I also want to mention that we have some great short programs. And again, I am pushing it with these short programs because many other festivals, what they did is they chose to show a lot of short programs, which we're not really doing at the festival. I still want to show great shorts. I don't want to dilute them and spread them out in a lot of short programs. We are still showing a stunning number of 36 feature films and 5 short programs. And all the 5 short programs will actually be dropped on the same day. Monday, October 12th, is a shorts program day at ImageOut. So, and it will be available to watch for a little over a week to give people time to watch them. Although, most of them are within the 2-hour time frame. but great to check out. So I hope you guys check those out. Oh, well, time went by quickly. I mean, it's been an hour, but any last words from you guys? Any last about? I mean, I feel like there's a lot to recommend, but the good thing about Eventive is you go to the film guide, you go to the page, and the trailer is there, the description is there, the pictures are there, everything is right there, so easily accessible. And when you want to watch it, click on the unlock button, or now it's pre-order because we're not open yet, and everything is it's there, and you can connect your laptop or computer to your TV. Or if you have Apple TV or Roku, or I think Android TV, there's actually an Eventive app that you can download and you can watch films from there. I don't have those. So I'm just connecting my laptop with an HDMI cable. So a lot of people say, how do I connect my laptop? Get a cable.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So, well, I'm so glad that you guys were a big part of this year's festival, and thanks for helping out. Like I said, you were my lifeline, and I'll be up late texting you, especially Georgia, who's trying to buy a house and moving. And I'm like,
can you watch this? Can you write this up?
Do you want to take a break and write a movie? And I'm like, say yes. You know, you don't want to be packing all day long. So
anyway. Who needs to get that done?
Yeah. So, well, guys, I hope you check out our site. Again, it's imageout.org. And from there, you can go to the Eventive site. And there's so much in there. And there's a lot of guides that can help you navigate the site. And if you have any questions, reach out through our social media, or email us, email anyone you know at the festival. I know a lot of people have emailed me and called me, some of my friends, but buy your tickets, because a lot of people worked hard to make this festival happen. And we hope that you will enjoy it and you'll support it. And hopefully we don't have to do this again next year. I mean, the virtual stuff, but if we do, we are now experts. Exactly. And things will be very much smoother. So thanks, Adam and Joey and Georgia, and hope to see you. And thanks to our 2 interpreters for joining us. And thanks to Paul and Michelle, who are playing techies in the background. You guys did a good job. And have a good night. And
You
see
too.
you.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Bye.